I'm good.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the City Commission meeting of July 25th, 2023. I call this meeting to order. Val, please call the roll.
Commissioner Penny?
Here.
Commissioner Curry? Commissioner Danio?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson? Here. Mayor Villa?
Here. And I want to welcome you all once again and remind you to please silence any electronic devices that you may have at this time. And I'll ask you to all please stand for the invocation led by Commissioner Roy Johnson and continue standing afterwards for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, we would really like to, all of us would really like to thank you, God, for everything you do for us. You're always there for us. You protect us, you watch over us, you answer our prayers, and I'm living proof of it. I'm almost 84 years old, and you've taken care of me for so long. And I would like to thank you for watching over all our police force in the city and keeping everyone safe. And just bless us overall, watch over our country, protect us, take care of us, and help us, God. And every single thing we ever ask for is in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, our risen Savior. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. And tonight is a special occasion because we are swearing in a new police officer. As I always say up here, we are so grateful for the service of our police men and women, and this is a huge honor to be able to do this. So at this time, I'm going to call the chief forward and hand the microphone off to him. The floor is yours, Chief.
Thank you. Chief Jeff Miller, Holly Hill Police Department. Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor, Mr. Forte, friends, and family. Tonight, we welcome the newest candidate as a Holly Hill police officer, Nicholas Stacy. Nick is 25 years old and graduated from Narragansett Regional High School located in Massachusetts. After Nick's high school graduation, he enlisted in the United States Navy, graduating boot camp in September 2016. While in the Navy, he attended Operations Specialist School and was stationed on board the USS New York at Naval Station Mayport, located in Jacksonville, Florida. While on board the USS New York, Nick was deployed several times to include, but not limited to, supporting key humanitarian relief efforts in the Florida Keys following Hurricane Irma, a joint venture with the Iwo Jima Amphibious Readiness Group to the coast of Libya, and with the Bataan Amphibious Readiness Group in the Middle East for supporting multiple coalition exercises and strengthening international relations with numerous strategic allies. In July 2021, Nick received an honorable discharge. However, he continues to serve in the United States Navy Reserve. Nick received his law enforcement certification in 2021 and has prior experience with a local law enforcement agency. The oath of office and pinning ceremony serves to remind all who serve of the importance of our sacred oath of honor, an expression of our allegiance to the human dignity and constitutional rights of those we serve. Without the personal commitment of the person taking the oath, it is nothing more than words on paper. Acknowledging the oath means acceptance of our tremendous responsibility to the protection of our community and the public's trust. Nick, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Nicholas Stacy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and the government of the United States
and the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state
under the Constitution of the state
and the charter of the city of Holly Hill,
and the charter of the city of Holly Hill,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully perform
well and faithfully perform
the duties of a police
the
officer
duties of a police officer
of the City of Holly Hill,
of the City of Holly Hill,
on which I am about to enter,
on which I am about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay? We'd like to call... So part of the pinning ceremony is Nick has selected his girlfriend, Angelica, to actually do the pinning. This is a special occasion, and here we go. Don't hurt him.
Don't let Ali do it. Nice.
All right.
There you go.
Everybody, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, and we just want to say a warm welcome to you, officer, and we thank you for choosing to serve our community, and we wish you the best in the years to come and all the safety for all of our first responders. We're very thankful for your service. Thank you very much. Congratulations. All righty, so now we will move to our first item on our agenda tonight, which is a budget agenda item for public hearing. And it's number 1, Resolution 2023-R-32. Mr. Forte.
Yes, for first and only reading, a resolution of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, adopting a proposed millage rate for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, providing for a public hearing on millage rate, providing for conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I have to read this resolution in its entirety. Whereas the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida is required by Florida Statute 200.011 to certify to the county property appraiser the general municipal millage rate proposed by said commission for the tax year beginning October 1, 2023. And whereas the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, pursuant to the Trim Bill, shall hold a public hearing adopting proposed millage rate. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, that the millage rate, Section 1, that the millage rate proposed by the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida for the tax year beginning October 1, 2023 is 6.25. That is 6.25 per 1,000. The fiscal year 2023 operating millage rate is 6.25 mils, which is greater than the rollback rate of 5.57170 mils by 12.17%. Section 2, that the City Commission does hereby set a public hearing on the millage rate for 6 p.m. on Monday, September 11th, 2023, in the City Commission chambers at 1065 Ridgewood Avenue in Holly Hill, Florida. Section 3, that all resolutions made in conflict with this resolution are hereby repealed. Section 4, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon its adoption. Approved and authenticated on this 25th day of July, 2023.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forte. And for those in the audience that were not able to be here during the budget session, we spoke about our tax rate here, and tonight is the maximum millage rate that we are setting for budget purposes, and we are setting the budget on a lower millage, so this will come back to this commission 2 other times to be voted on, and we expect at that time for the millage rate to come down. So just so everyone's clear what we're voting on here tonight. So I'll start it off. Are there any questions from the commission for staff? Mr. Forte, do you have anything to add from what I just talked about?
Nothing further at this time.
Okay. With that, we will open this up to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this item tonight? All right, seeing none, I will close public participation, and I'll open the floor for a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion to approve as staff recommended to set the tentative maximum millage rate at 6.25. We have a motion from our Vice Mayor, a second from Commissioner Danio. Any discussion needed? And I'll just say that I'm voting for this tonight in anticipation of this millage rate coming down through the budget process. So with that, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries 4-0. Now we'll move to public comments. This is the audience's opportunity to speak to the commission about anything not on our regular agenda or on our agenda completely. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the commission? Yes, ma'am. Either one or both. Yeah, either one. Do you want to both come up? Yes. Yeah, you get 5 minutes each. Up to 5 minutes. So, I'll explain it to you as you walk up. Go ahead. Once you get to there, we're going to ask for your name and address just for the record. It has to be kept. And then you will have 5 minutes. And when the 5 minutes is ending, I'll ask you to wrap it up. Okay?
I'll take this off so my voice won't be muffled.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Back in 2020 and 2021, it was like we couldn't hear anything on audio. So,
Not a
good.
problem.
All right, thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, and then your 5 minutes will start.
Okay, my name is Edith Gadsden, address 1229 Jericho Avenue, Holly Hill, Florida. I was born and brought from Halifax Hospital to the address when it was a dirt road.
Wow.
I'm here tonight because over the years, I've noticed something that's worse than the dirt roads back in the 60s. I spoke with Director Kearney, and I spoke with the Field Operations Supervisor, Mr. Blankenship. Both have been helpful and given me information. My first complaint, I'm talking fast, tell me if I need to slow down. My first complaint, and Mr. Curry was helpful, was because the sidewalks had started cracking up. My dad is 84. He suffered, he had to have an emergency craniotomy, and he had a stroke while in ICU. And the sidewalk started caking, crumbling up, and he almost fell twice. So they've been helpful in saying they're going to get the sidewalk repaired. So praise God, thank you. The other complaint that I wanted to bring to the table is that flooding is horrible on Jericho Street. My sister has pictures, and if allowed, can we pass on to the commission? Is that allowed?
You can hand them to the clerk.
And
Yeah,
tell
she
me how
can
many
hand-
minutes I have left, Mayor.
It's up there.
It's right up there.
Okay,
So
3
4
minutes.
minutes, yep.
4 minutes, okay, so I'm doing good. What has happened is that, and I've spoke with Mr. Curry about it, and the flooding on Jericho Street is horrible. If it rains, we have to wait 24 hours to check the mail. Down the entire street of Jericho that's south of Walker Street, it floods. On the north side of Walker Street on Jericho Avenue, it's not. And I don't know why, but on one side of the street, they were given drainage. Okay, so y'all have a picture of this, and this is our side, and the white truck is my dad's vehicle, and you can see how it floods. If I come home with groceries, I have to kind of turn around sometimes and park going in the opposite direction so I can get to the vehicle. Sometimes I have to crawl through and get in the best way I can if I'm using the truck. But what I want, the reason that I'm here tonight is because it was my understanding, and Mr. Curry, you can tell me if I'm quoting or not stating or not understanding what I was told. But I was told that there's no drainage plan for the city of Holly Hill, and that we have low, I think it was like a 6 feet elevation. And that I was told that if they drain for one street, they would have to drain for the next and the next. And I'm like, okay, I was willing to go along with that. But it rained again Saturday. And on my way home, I said, well, let me go and drive down on the other side of Jericho Street. And that's when I saw the drainage. And I never knew that they had drainage there. So my question is, why is one street afforded drainage and another not? And I mean, when it floods on Jericho, from all the way from one end, because it stops at LPGA. So from LPGA all the way down to Walker, it's just water everywhere, everywhere. And I'm not here to advocate for Walker, but Walker Street is horrible. I was here once because we now have to rotate to help take care of my dad, so he can't be at home by himself. So I happen to be back, so I'm back and forth every couple of months. So I was here another time, and Walker, you couldn't even go down Walker Street, because when you come towards Walker from Jericho to the right, before you get to the railroad tracks, it was like the cars, you could see them go through the water and go down like they were flooded out. So that's my concern tonight, is that the water is bad. The flooding is really, really bad. I think I would rather a dirt road than the paved road with the sidewalk than what we're going through now. But I want to tell Mr. Curry, thank you for addressing the sidewalk, because the doctors have told us if my dad falls again, that he's not going to be here with us. And the brain bleed the craniotomy was because of a fall he had. And we didn't know his brain was bleeding until like 4 weeks later. So, but that's my concern, the sidewalk and then the flooding. And then why some get, some have, some don't. and we don't have. So, all right, and I got 50 seconds left. Thank you all
wanna-
so much.
You could sing a song in
bless
the
you.
last 50 seconds, or?
You know, it's,
Yeah, so first off, before you ask questions, and I just want to tell anyone here in the audience, at this meeting, we don't do back and forth question and answer. We are available to talk anytime. Our cell phones are listed on our website, and we will talk to you about this. This is something I have to talk to staff about and get more information, the specific questions. But since this is a circumstance where you're really looking for answers, and I know our vice mayor wants to ask you a question, so I will allow that here
It
tonight.
has nothing to do with what you're here for tonight.
Oh, okay.
But wasn't your father one of the masons that built the original fountain in front of
he
City
has
Hall?
built so much stuff. He built, I mean, Holly Hill and Daytona, we can't get him to stop talking when we drive him around. And I'm like, man, he has done a lot of building. And the home that we're in now, he's in now, he built from a one room.
Wow,
Yeah, my dad did that.
wow.
And, yeah, so,
Putting your mom's shirt on one of our boards?
no,
Were you guys the,
Shirt on one of the boards?
no, no.
One of the guys.
My uncle Benny did, years ago probably.
All right.
Benny Gatson from Grant.
No, there was a guy in there.
Yeah, that was my uncle.
All
My great uncle, my granddad's brother.
That just means I've been around.
Were you gonna
no,
say?
that was
Yes,
Graham, I think it was
yes.
Graham.
It's been
Graham.
a
Oh,
long
the
time.
Christmas lights,
Christmas,
yeah.
yeah, that was,
Okay.
All right, thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
much.
God bless
Yes.
each of you.
Yes, ma'am, and now I'll take, yes. Are you her sister?
I am the baby girl. I'm the
Baby
sister.
Girl, there we go. All right, so same thing, just.
My name is Kim
introduce-
Gatson, and I live at 1108 Barber Drive, but my dad lives at 1229 Jericho. I just realized I used to square dance in this building. Honor your partner. Honor your partner. I just wanted to recap with what my sister said, that there's a lot of water on our street. And when you go down another street and you get jealous. They've got a drain, we don't have a drain, and we're walking in water, and our feet, the whole foot goes down in the water. So we're just here to try and get some clarity on why we can't get a drain as well. It's been 15 years when they came into our neighborhood and they put the sidewalk there. And my mom was questioning that. She's like, why are they putting a sidewalk? And now the sidewalk is all up and crumbly, and like I said, my sister said, my dad gets out in the garden and he falls. So we have to keep watching him. And we just want to get some clarity on why we can't get a drain somewhere, even on the LPGA side. We don't care which side, where it falls at. We just would like a drain. Okay? Thank you
Thank you
guys
very
so
much.
much for listening.
hey, didn't you graduate from Mainland in 1981?
Did you graduate from Mainland in 1981 too?
Ah, sounds like the vice mayor, you know her. Well, then, you know what, don't call me with your questions, call him. So, vice mayor, you're on duty. So, and we will get back with you on that. I mean, just from the get-go, a lot of these streets were designed, decades ago, without the foresight of that, and also without the protections that we have in place now for building, and where the water goes, what runoff, and what can and cannot handle it. So that may be at the heart of the issue, but I'll ask staff to catch me up to speed on it as well. Thank you for coming here tonight. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak to the commission about anything not on our agenda?
So, Mayor, on
Yes,
your
sir.
consent agenda is the Team Volusia Economic Development
Yes.
Agreement, and,
But let's finish public comments first.
well, I didn't know if you wanted to do it under public comments, or did you want to?
I'll just bring it up right after public
Okay.
comments, yeah. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the commission about anything not on our agenda tonight? All right, seeing none, I'll close public comments, and thank you, Mr. Forte, for reminding me. We have the CEO of Team Volusia here tonight, who is also a Holly Hill citizen, still, right? Yes. There we go. So we welcome you here to our chambers, Mr. Norden, and the floor is yours if you would like to talk to us about Team Volusia a little bit.
Well, thank you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to update you. And I am a proud resident of Holly Hill, just maybe not a mile away. But anyway, we have a lot of exciting things at Team Volusia going on, and we appreciate your investment through the years. The first slide I'd like to show is just what we are. Many of you know we're a public-private partnership. So we get 51% of our funds from the private sector, 5% of the funds from colleges and universities, and then 44% of the funds from the public sector. And that's broken down about half with the County of Volusia and about half with our 15 municipalities that fund the group. The next slide is talking about really economic development is a team sport, so it's a collaborative environment. We work very closely with Mr. Forte and, of course, the economic development team here, John Cox and others, to make sure that we are all aligned about what the product is that we're going to sell here in the city of Holly Hill. You can see all of our partners here that we work very closely with. The next slide is just a slide about our funding. You can see that our public funding has continued to stay aligned in a steady fashion, and private sector has gone up through the years. So we have about 85 private sector companies funding us, and I'll show you a slide of that. And then you can see that the funding is split pretty equally between the 16 municipal partners, or actually 15 municipal partners, and the county's investment. I'm really proud to say that we, this year, brought on two new municipal partners, the city of Oak Hill and the town of Ponce Inlet. And next slide, please. Thank you, Valerie. So we're pleased with that. That took several years to occur, and so we're proud to add them to the list of municipalities that are engaged with us. The next slide is just a slide of all the private sector companies that support Team Volusia. And as a reminder, the public sector funds are used for operations, and the private sector funds are used for everything else, our recruitment efforts, our marketing, our telephones, everything else. The next slide is just our sales funnel. And as you know, sales, you need more leads in the beginning, which are stage one. And the whole purpose is for us to process them down through the sales funnel. Stage 5 are locations. Stage 4 are 6 companies that we are that are in negotiations right now. And the next slide is just what we've done so far this year. 4 projects. The latest one, Encompass Health, which is a healthcare facility in Daytona Beach, and then Amazon located a 1 million square foot facility. Its 4th facility here in Volusia County, and that's in the city of Deltona. And then we do have a location in Holly Hill, and we're very proud of that because we've always wanted that, as I have presented. So we've got Lobo Lures and Inktrans Print Company who came into an existing building, and we're pleased about that. The next slide are just a snapshot of some of the projects we are currently working on. Project Robin was Encompass Health. You can see the size of that project, $40 million project with wages at $65,000 average wage per employee. The next one is a very exciting project that we're shortlisted. We're one of 2 locations in Florida shortlisted. It is an aviation aerospace project that requires a lot of acreage, so it's not in Holly Hill, but the cap investment at full build out is almost $1 billion. 680 jobs with an average wage of $80,000. And we are one of 2 locations in Florida. Other states are being considered, but we have a chance at it. Yonder is an aerospace company that we are working on an official announcement. They are going in Southeast Volusia, $16 million project with average wages of $70. Project Flow is medical related. Project Star is medical related at $25 million, 100 jobs. And then Orange is a very exciting project. It's advanced manufacturing, high tech, and that's a large capital investment as well. So we're excited that we are working on these premier projects. The next slide is just a snapshot of the targets that we, go after. We have a very methodic way of recruitment, but of course, aviation, aerospace technology, just because of where we are, Southeast Volusia, and the space industry there in Brevard County. We were very proud to locate Ocelot from Brazil. That is an aerospace company from outside of Sao Paulo. We did that, and then of course, we have the all-stellar, we have many wonderful colleges and universities, but Embry-Riddle is a great draw for aviation aerospace. Then, of course, our geographic location, we are the logistics hub because of I-4, I-95, and we've been successful at recruitment because of the two deep border ports, because of the rail, and because of just our geographic location to our 22 million people in the state of Florida, and then more in the southeast. The next slide is just a snapshot of our outreach. We've had over 20 outreach activities. Our municipalities and county fund us to do the outreach. This is so that we can identify potential companies that have an interest in expanding, also in raising the visibility of who we are, who Volusia County is. And I can assure you that when we're out and about, we're always marketing all of our municipalities, Volusia County, and all the assets that we have. So you can see recently the Paris Air Show for aviation. We located a French company at the show for Volusia County. I was asked, along with the mayor of Daytona Beach and NASCAR and UCF and Stetson, to go on the Hungarian summit mission that was led by our honorary consul. We met over 500 people. It was a week-long meeting, but we had the highest level of meetings so that we really raised the visibility of Volusia County. We have some companies already lined up to visit. So exciting times, and then of course, we are very active with marketing as well. So the next slide is what we're doing in marketing, raising the visibility of Volusia County. And I'm very proud to say that last year, and you know it, this is Livability Magazine, which is our talent recruitment piece. Pictona was on the cover, and I appreciate Mr. Forte's leading that charge. And then this is the next issue. This is this year's, and we have Riverfront Esplanade on the cover, which is close to the city of Holly Hill, but we're very proud that on page 53, great write-up about Pictona, and this is given to every one of our prospects. It's also online, and then also a great ad that you all put in showing the many aspects, great aspects of Holly Hill. And this is used by our hospital systems. Brown & Brown has an ad in this. They use it to recruit their people. So it's a great piece, and we appreciate your involvement in it. Now, the next slide is metrics, and Mr. Forte has been involved in the organization since day one. So we're very proud that we are metriced to death, I might say, but we're very proud of the meetings this year. This is first and second quarter. These are not casual meetings. These are meetings where appointments were held outside of the area. So 364 of those, 23 outreach events outside the area, 20 site visits, and then we've had 39 community events. But the travel, thank goodness, is shared by my team, so I'm not on the road all the time, so I can enjoy my Holly Hill residence. But the next slide are our officers, and you can see we have another Holly Hill resident, John Ferguson, who's very active in the city and the community, and then a great group of leaders, including Joyce Shanahan, the city manager of the city of Ormond Beach. And then the next slide is just the team, and this is, we're your team. It's a team of 6 people, hardworking, but Tawan and Harry join me on the recruitment efforts, so it's 3 of us on the road, and then we have the other support team. So I appreciate this opportunity to update you, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
I just have an overall question, I know that your primary goal is recruitment and bringing them here, maybe the only goal. Do you work with the county at all with retention, if,
Well,
if a
the
company
way
is
the
looking to move?
contract is, the cooperative agreements, we can work with the cities if there's a need for our municipalities, but the county really has divided the operations so that there's not overlap. So the county works with expansions and retentions.
Okay.
They feel that really is a better place, because if we were involved, we might, the possibility would be that we could take the company who was unhappy in one city and
Move
place
to
it in
another one.
another municipality.
Yeah.
So therefore, the county really wants to do the expansion. But we have, on request, and it's in your contract and cooperative agreement, we can work and help you retain companies.
Okay, yeah, that was just my question. Thank you.
And then, yes, please.
Awesome. Vice Mayor?
Who's the holdout city?
Yeah,
Well,
one.
It shifted, actually. We had 2
Pearson?
holdout cities. We had 2 holdout municipalities when Pearson was in. It took a long time to recruit Pearson, so we had Pearson in for 2 years, and then
Oak Hill was
because of
out.
the lack of staff, they dropped. There is a move to bring them back on, and then we brought Oak Hill and Ponce Inlet on, which is a shame, because when Ponce Inlet signed on, they thought they were the holdout city, and then I had to correct it, and it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
you're not the holdout city.
Yeah.
But we are working with them. It's just a strange circumstance, because they have such a low number of people there, and so even as
Well, even
staff-
for Ponce Inlet, there's not much commercial
no,
to
but
be had
but
there.
I tell
so-
you, the mayor and the town council decided that they needed to be in, because Mr. Forte can tell you, it's the meetings in the room, we always have guest speakers, and they wanted to unify for the good of the county. Because Ponce Inlet may have companies, executives who might move into the area, they may consider living in Ponce Inlet. But no, the mayor does not want a smokestack industry in her
Right.
backyard, so I can assure you.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud that they're on board, and she's one of our biggest cheerleaders, so, really proud that we've been able to
Good,
do the
great,
15.
great work. And personally, I always tell you, come on, champion our city. You're a citizen here. I know you're doing that for us.
We are,
So
'cause I want
continue the
my-
fight, and
Yes.
and we appreciate that, and bring as many companies as you can to us. So
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Yes. Is
Thank
there any
you, Commissioners.
anything further? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Keith.
Mayor, I just
Yes.
want to say, I want to just thank Keith for coming, because I sent him an email a little over a week ago about this being on the agenda, and I didn't hear back from him. So yesterday, I wrote him an email, and I realized I had sent it to the wrong email address.
Oh,
So I was a little upset that I sent him an email and I didn't hear from over a week, and then I realized it was my mistake. So at the last minute, he did make arrangements to come here, and thank you for doing that, Keith.
Thank you. We never miss it. And I was actually in a staff meeting when I saw Mr. Forte's email. It's like, it's tomorrow night. It's like, okay.
well, I'm glad it's not too far of a drive for you.
It's
So
not. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
all.
Norton.
Thanks
We
for all the
appreciate
great
it.
work you do. Really proud of the
All right.
city.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, thank
All
you.
right, now we're going to move on to the approval of the minutes. We have the minutes from the July 11th, 2023 regular city commission meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner Danio, a second from Commissioner Johnson. Are there any changes to the minutes that need to be made? Seeing none, I'll open it up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on the minutes? Seeing none, I will close public comments. We'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries 4-0. Now we're going to move to our consent agenda, items 1 through 6. Would any commissioner like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Okay. The action proposed is stated for each item on the consent agenda. Unless the city commissioner removes an item from the consent agenda, no discussion on individual items will occur, and a single motion will approve all items. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on any item on the consent agenda tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda, items 1 through 6.
Second.
We have a motion for approval of the consent agenda from Commissioner Johnson, a second from Commissioner Danio. No discussion is needed. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries 4-0. Now moving to our regular agenda. Number 1 is Resolution 2023-R-38. Mr. Forte.
Pulled up the wrong item. Hold on.
That's all right. Take your time.
Okay, for first and only reading, a resolution of the City Commission, by title only, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving piggyback of Charlotte County Contract Number 201-8000-509 for the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 through Bartow Ford Company at an established price of $29,789.49, and authorizing the city manager to execute the same, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. So on July 26th of 2022, the city ordered a 2023 Ford F-150 through Bartow Ford Company under the purchase order of 220187. In January of 2023, due to significant supply chain disruptions, Bartow Ford was unable to fulfill the order, leading to the cancellation of the purchase order. A 2022 Ford F-150 was subsequently purchased from Ford Crestview as it was available and in stock. On July 14th of 2023, a Ford F-150 was erroneously delivered to the Public Works Yard by Bartow Ford Company. The cost of the model year 2023 Ford F-150 trucks have increased substantially since the time of order, with the current base price with a standard length truck bed of $36,240, excluding dealer fees and registration. The truck received by the city has an 8-foot bed and was received at an established price of $29,789. In accordance with the Charlotte County contract, the proposal from Bartow Ford is included under Exhibit A, and Charlotte County contract is included under Exhibit B. Current cost for the base I got my New York accent went in there for a second. Current cost for the base of 2023 Ford F-150 without additional options is included under Exhibit C. The Streets Division currently has a 2006 Ford F-150 which needs to be replaced due to its age and condition. The staff recommended that the City Commission approve the purchase of the 2023 Ford F-150 delivery due to the exceptional value and need. The resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a piggyback agreement for the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 vehicle at the pricing established through the Charlotte County contract and execute a purchase order for Bartow Ford for this vehicle. So in summary, this vehicle was ordered and canceled, but the cancellation never got to the company. So it was delivered to our surprise. So it's sitting there unused, unregistered, waiting for a decision from this commission if we should go ahead and purchase it. So because we always have a need for Ford 150s that we try to project out over time, there is a need for this vehicle. It would be budgeted for, and fortunately we have this one that was delivered, and with a savings of nearly $10,000, we're recommending that we go ahead and keep the vehicle and pay for it. The money would come out of the cost savings from another project, so we wouldn't have to affect the budget at all. And it's quite an anomaly. Nothing like this has ever happened that I'm aware of, and it's nothing that we would ever want to promote, somebody inadvertently ordering something and then canceling it only for it to come in again. So it truly was an oversight somewhere, but fortunately it could be a potential good oversight.
Yep. And Mr. Forte, I know we discussed this, but just for the record, so this is going to replace a 17-year-old F-150 that we were planning on replacing anyways. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
So, yeah, it ended up working out and ends up actually saving money, and the vast majority of this is being paid for out of savings from another project in that fund. So this did work out, but as we discussed privately, moving forward, we're make sure that this doesn't ever happen.
Don't want to happen
So,
again. That's
yeah.
correct.
Thank you. Are there any further questions for staff? Okay. With that, we will open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the commission on this item tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation, and I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion for approval from Vice Mayor Penny and a second from, who was it? Danio?
Sure.
Commissioner Danio. Is there any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries 4-0. Now we'll move to number 2, which is,
You get another one.
what's that?
Another truck? Yeah.
Not at that price, now they're a lot more. We're going to move to number 2, which is ordinance 2023-0-3062 for first reading.
Ordinance 2023-03062, first reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, amending Chapter 42, Pensions and Retirement, Article 3, Firefighters Retirement System of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, providing for the Holly Hill Firefighters Retirement System to provide disability retirement benefits for cancer diagnosis pursuant to Section 112.1816 of the Florida statutes, providing for a repealer, providing for a savings clause, providing for providing for codification, providing for severability, and providing for effective date. So this came to us from the attorney representing the pension fund, and periodically the state law changes. Several years ago, they had adopted policy law for certain cancers that are inherent to certain firefighting-related diseases. So they made a change to the code in Florida Statute 112.1816, and there's just simply one additional paragraph that's added into the city's code, and that paragraph reads, non-rebutable conclusive cancer presumptions, the provisions of Florida Statute 112.1816 as amended are hereby codified with the plan and are intended to be incorporated by reference. The Board of Trustees shall adopt uniform administrative rules for the conduct of hearings relating to this presumption and for the determination of any disqualifying events as reflected in the statute. So it doesn't detail the exact information that's in the statute, but it references the statute in this ordinance that'll be adopted into the code.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forte. Are there any questions for staff from the commission? All right, seeing none, I'll open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this item tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'd like a motion.
Second.
We have a motion for approval from Commissioner Johnson, a second from Vice Mayor Penny. Is there any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. We have no public hearings tonight, so we'll move to communications. Mr. Forte, do you have anything tonight?
I actually have nothing to report.
Okay. I just want to say happy birthday to our city clerk yesterday, Val. Hope you had a great day. And I just wanted to bring up to this commission, I know that you may recall several meetings ago, I brought up that Mr. Forte and I met with an organization that was looking at reading scores and how low the reading scores were here. And so at that time, we came up with the idea to put in for a grant through the Florida League of Mayors to fund a program, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which for any child, and for the public's knowledge, any child that you know that's under 5 years old in the city of Holly Hill, they can receive free books every single month that are sent directly to them. In fact, my kids have received them. We've been signed up for the program for many years, and it's really great. By the time, and you can get it when they are an infant, and by the time that they are 5 years old, they'll have a full shelf of books. And if anyone looks into the issue of reading at a young, early age, if parents are reading to them, the IQ levels are greatly improved. And so we have to encourage that. In our city, as we all know, we have a lot of blue-collar workers. We have some families that may only have one parent in the household and has to work 2 jobs to put food on the table and may not have the time available to invest into their child. As bad and horrible as that is to say, it is a reality for some families. And so this program helps to bridge that gap, to be able to provide those books and to give them the tools that they need to hopefully improve the scores for our youth here. It's a very important program. And so I requested that we would put in from this commission, that this commission would put in for this grant, and I'm happy to say that the Florida League of Mayors did give us the grant, so that way we can double the amount available for this community. So you could feel free to spread the word. If you know any kids under the years of 5 years old, encourage them to get into this program. Once again, it's completely free. You sign up, you give them their address, and every month that child will receive a brand new book, and they're nice books as well. So I'm just happy to say that we received that grant, and our citizens will benefit from that. So with that, that's all I have tonight, and we will start over here with Vice Mayor.
It's a great program. I recently met with Allison Miller, who I think is from the Early Learning Coalition, and we're going to try and establish another reading program at our school called Kiwanis Reads.
Oh,
and so we'll be looking for community members to come in next summer. We have to plan it a year ahead of time, to come in and have the children select books that they want from the library, and help read with them once a week.
Very cool. Sign me up. I'm willing to volunteer. That's great.
I threw out the crazy idea about bathrooms last time or the time before. I don't know if we want to set up a workshop sometime in the future, but that's just kind of in the back of my mind.
So, Mr. Forte, are we going to discuss again the Sunrise Park improvements? Because maybe at that time, I mean, I know we've already discussed it. We know what we want.
We were going to do a work session and include bathrooms as an old separate item, but we could do it during either as an update as part of the Sunrise Park improvements or separately, but we are going to plan to put it on as a work session item.
Okay, yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner?
My son and daughter-in-law are expecting their first kid, my 4th grandchild, August 2nd, so unless, I mean, there's a possibility I may not be here next meeting in the event it goes late, because I think the 9th is our next meeting, or 8th or something. Is it the 8th, Val? Was it Tuesday,
Let's see. It's the 8th, yeah.
the 8th? Other than that, I'll be here, so, but I don't have anything other than that, so just give me a heads up in case.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a good reason. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The earlier the second Tuesday comes, the better I like it.
Yeah.
Because I always get my social security check on the following Wednesday.
Leave some for us, will you?
All right, your turn, Commissioner Johnson.
Oh, okay, there are a couple of things. They canceled the TPO meeting in July as usual, so TPO meeting tomorrow in case anyone wants to attend. And tomorrow, in case anybody has a chance to come by the Luxor Sports Center, which is convenient located on the north end of Noble Road in Holly Hill, they're having a baseball camp for the little kids in the morning and the bigger kids in the afternoon. And it's just a good thing to go in and watch the little kids play and to see the bigger kids, to see what they actually can do in there. So some of those pitch machines, automatic pitch machines actually pitch up to 120 miles an hour.
Holy,
So
Oh, it's like the mayor on Friday night.
yeah.
Yeah, great. You didn't bounce it. Good.
No,
You
got it.
you weren't there.
I saw it on
you were-
YouTube or something.
Oh, the video.
Facebook
Yeah.
or something.
So just as I was
what
coming
they
up.
do actually related to the actual pitching on the fields and all, they pitch right up to 120 miles an hour.
Do those
Really
machines throw curveballs or are they just straight
They
pitch?
sold some curveballs.
Yeah, they can do off-speed and curve, and yeah, they're pretty,
Pretty amazing because they're all the modern, up-to-date pitching machines.
yeah.
And then they have the softball jugs, softball pitching machines and all. So if you get a chance to just stop by just for a little while, just to see. It's all air conditioned inside, the whole place is and all. It's really comfortable and nice. Yeah, to see it. And then another thing is next month, in August, I forget the date, but I can look it up. We're having a memorial for Smokey Community right over here by the Marina Grand. And I talked to his grandson this morning. You know, Smokey got pretty famous because of the racing industry. And I was talking to his son, his grandson this morning a couple of times. And his daughter, which is Smokey's great-granddaughter, she's been in the horse racing for as long as I can remember. She's a little kid now, just a little, maybe 20, 21 years old. But she was at the last opening for us, and out of I think he said 286 racers, horse racers this morning, she was in 6th place. So it's just amazing how she has come along and still going along in the racing industry. And I'm sure that I can convince her to come to the memorial that they're going to have for him next month. That's the main thing. I think there was one other thing, but I forgot what it was. That's okay.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, Commissioner
Just
Daniels.
to clarify, in case anybody's wondering why I won't be here, my son lives in Greenville, South Carolina. That's, otherwise, I'd still be here.
All the way up there, okay.
Yeah, we were driving up there for it, so I was like, why does he gotta miss the meeting if it's, no, that's why, so.
Hey, it's an important reason. Your
Yeah.
grandson or grand.
Don't know.
They don't
Actually,
know.
they don't know.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Yeah, thank
and that reminds me about the baseball game, Holly Hill night on Friday night. So thank you for being there,
Yeah, man,
Daniel.
gosh, it was so hot, though.
The chief and all of your officers. That was a really cool thing, and
Vince Carter.
I got to bring Vince Carter was there.
Yeah, he was signing autographs.
Was he really?
Yeah, he signed my hat.
Didn't even see him.
Rob John?
Dang. Yeah, Ron John was there. So it was a good night, and it was a great honor to be able to throw out the first pitch. I brought my kids out there, and my 3-year-old son, for some reason, he never likes to be held. He wanted to be held, so I held him in one arm, and I was telling people were like, "Wow, you still threw the ball with him?" And I said it was just a little bit of counterweight, so help me rocket it in there. So we're good to go. But I did not bounce it. Former baseball player, so would never embarrass the city like that.
Thank you.
I take it serious. So anyways, with that, is there anything further? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Man, that was.
It was so hot. No, we left at like